Hey, I'm Bubba.
And I'm John.
We use our questionable and sometimes traumatic childhood experiences to hopefully become better parents.
We might not succeed,
But listen,
they're fine.
What a great weekend we had. We try to go to church. We did not, but we spent Saturday and Sunday around the house,
Okay.
and it was just pretty much as relaxing as it got. Real California sunshine kind of thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's springtime here, and got out a kiddie pool, did some yard work. I braised some pork belly. I made these pork belly sandwiches.
Yeah, this is all real in character for you.
Dude, it was just that we took naps. We did go to our friend Missy and Julie's pool.
Well, that pool you're speaking of, the one in your backyard, I walked in your home and there is a kiddie pool in your family room.
Yeah, went to a little place, future sponsor Five Below, and they have this big ass yellow rubber ducky family size kiddie pool.
Yeah, this is a supersized kiddie pool.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And it's got lights inside of it. You put in some AA batteries in one of the layers, and it lights them up, Christmas light style. And I filled it up yesterday. Some other neighbors came over. The kids came over, played in it. It was a blast. Really sturdy. $25. Great investment. And then I dried it all out today, and the kids were playing back here with it. And I said, "You got to go inside. Your boy's recording a podcast." So I just hauled that thing inside. They put a bunch of pillows in it, and now it's a bed. Well, the kids did a lemonade stand last weekend.
Yeah, I saw your Instagram.
And what had happened is I filmed the chaos of me putting this lemonade stand together with these bozos.
Sure.
And I've had some Instagram success in the past. I had about 8,000 people following me, but I could never get past 10.
Okay.
And for me, it was kind of a thing where I was like, I don't get it. I got some of these videos that got 1 million views, 4 million views, and I still just can't get any more followers. And I was like, I guess that's what it is, you know? But then I made these videos. It was going to be just this one video of the kids doing this lemonade stand. It was like 4 minutes long. And I was like, I'll chop it up, in a couple pieces, and I'll say the dreaded words, "follow for more." And I just hate that.
Yeah, it feels like...
I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate it. But I said, follow for part 2, because I cut it up. And I frankly didn't even think it was that funny. It was, to me, just another day in the neighborhood with these ding-dongs driving me nuts. So I filmed me trying to put a lemonade stand together where Henry was being Henry and yelling free lemonade when the lemonade wasn't even ready, and then just giving away the lemonade to people.
He's being Henry.
And then Maggie being anxiety, OCD, ADHD diva, not coming out until the sign was absolutely perfect. Took 10 drafts.
Yep.
And getting her press on nails. Yep. And then all the weird wackadoos in our 90s neighborhood coming by. And I did part 1, 2, and 3, and it got millions of views. They got millions of views. And people were commenting like, this is the funniest thing on television. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. I wish I followed your account years ago. All these things that really tip of the hat to your boy. And I went from like 8,000 followers to 24,000 followers.
Wow.
In a week.
This is real inside baseball here. We're
Real
seeing behind
baseball.
the curtain. What's funny is that, I watched your little story, your little skit.
It wasn't a good skit. The little sketches you kids are doing.
Yeah, but I was like, oh yeah, it's funny. But you put out some way funnier videos.
I agree.
But for some reason you cracked the algorithm, Brandon. You did the little
Something
follow for the next one, and people, they needed to know what happened.
They needed to know because they did have cliffhangers. And I agree. I have posted way funnier stuff over the years to crickets,
Literally.
There's been a couple things that have caught on, but nothing that's pushed me over the edge. And then I think it might have just been the follow for more. But it was actually funny shit. I mean, it wasn't my top 10, but there's something about it. maybe it's where we're at with the war and everything that people were just like, I got to have something to feel good about.
I want to see this guy talk shit about his kids and their
Demean
lemonade
his children
stand.
and swear at them in public, which is what I do all the time.
I mean, that's your brand.
That's the brand. You know, and you and I had a video the week before that got a bunch of views also.
Oh, our gay dad video?
Dude, I don't think we talked about it on the show.
I don't think we have.
Well, Henry went to a trampoline park. I want to call him some. I don't know what to call him. I feel like there should be another name for him. What do you call him?
For what?
Trampoline parks?
You want another name for trampoline park?
Yeah, isn't there another name?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, there's...
What would Joe Biden call him? You know, the thing.
Jumpy houses.
The stump and jump.
That's good. The stump
the
and
pump
jump.
and dump.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, these are the sky zones, the urban airs. You have these in your town?
We went to one of them, birthday party.
Of course.
Of course. And this Henry was doing some arcade games, and then there was one of these isolated claw machines where it didn't have a bunch of stuff in it. It had like one big prize, and it was this pellet gun.
Yeah.
It's like rubbery, rubber gel pellet gun or something. And he goes, I want that. And I was like, yeah, buddy, I don't think so. They steal your money, you know?
Yeah.
And then this sweet little kid came by, and he was like, I know how to win the game. And I was like, oh, you do? And I should say, this kid was with us a little earlier because he helped Henry climb a thing that he probably shouldn't have. But because the kid was so nice, I told Henry I'll get a gift card to play some games. And this kid was hanging out, and I was like, you can play too. And so I paid for this kid to play.
Yeah, you kind of adopted this kid. This happens sometimes at parties, right?
Yeah, I was looking around for his parents though, because I didn't want him to think I was some kind of pedo.
Sure.
But his parents were nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, should I report these parents for being negligent? You know. But in any event, this kid, he goes, I know how to win it, and he told me how to win it.
Were you going? Yeah. Sure, you do, buddy.
Yeah. And he was like, dude, I can't do the voice, but.
What ethnicity was this child?
He was Chinese.
Okay.
And
don't do the voice.
I'm not going to do it, but all I'm going to say is he had the exact offensive accent that the kid in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom had.
Oh, little
Short Round.
Short
right?
Round, yes.
Dude, he looked and sounded like Short Round, dude.
You know what you should do? Instead of that voice, do like an Eastern European voice or something. Do a voice that's totally not right for him.
He goes, sir, I know my way around this game. I can teach you the ways of how to catch the rifle if you let me instruct you. It was more of a Dracula voice.
It was pretty good.
And I said, okay, Short Round, show me how to do it. And he did. And we won this gun.
You cracked the claw machine.
I felt like he was like, I want it. And I was like, get out of here, kid. I was like,
he wanted your prize?
He goes, oh, I really wanted it. I'm trying to not go from vampire into Asian.
It's a slippery slope. Yeah. I can hear it.
I really want to suck your blood. The gun. And I was like, hey, man, like, I can't cut this gun in half.
Here's a quarter, kid. Hit the
King
bricks.
Solomon. I said, I patted him on his little Short Round hat.
Yeah.
And I said, thanks so much, kid. And I walked out with mine, who was going, I got a gun. And he was so excited. And I was like, don't yell, I got a gun too loud in public.
Yeah,
also, it looks like a goddamn AR-15. But we showed up at your house with it because I had to run some errands.
Yeah.
And by that point, Henry was shirtless because he's a boy of the wild. And you and I made a little video that you can find on the Listen They're Fine Instagram where I was just doing some bits with Henry.
Sure.
Where he's
this is our life. We rarely have real conversations. You and I, you just do bits, and I laugh and make fun of you, and yeah.
Yeah, and we did a little thing where I asked Henry, you complimented the gun, which was odd because, not that you did, but I noticed just walking, because after we left the party, went to like a Petco because he was like, I want to pet a squirrel or something. I was like, no, but they might let you pet something at this pet store. So I took him over there, and then I was looking for a Jamba Juice that was supposedly over there. It wasn't. So we were on foot for a little bit in this strip mall. We have those in America. And all these men, John, went right up to my son and were like, "Hey, little man, I like your gun.
Yeah.
That sure is a beauty." They were all Chinese. No, they were all different ethnicities. But it was, and Henry was so proud, and I was like, this is why war was on my mind. I was like, this is how it starts.
Yeah.
This kid's gonna join the army, and we were right by.
He's realizing he gets affirmation by carrying a rifle around.
Something that can kill people. And we were right by an armed forces reserve, whatever, sign up. I don't know what you call them. If you're a vet, write in.
A recruitment office?
Oh, I didn't know you served. There's a recruitment office, and I joked to Henry, we should go sign up. And he goes, huh? And I was like, nothing. But by the time we got to your place, he was so proud of that gun.
Sure was.
And I started making these jokes that were like, that's my shirtless son with his gun.
Yeah.
Are you going to die for your country, son? And Henry wisely was like, shook his head,
No
nope.
way.
And I was like, are you going to die for another country?
Yeah.
People know what we're talking about. And then you were like, that's enough. And then I started jokingly chanting, something about you being a pacifist. And I was like, we're war people, boots on the ground, boots on the ground. And Henry started chanting boots on the ground.
Sure.
I didn't think anything of it, but I filmed the little thing. And then a few days later, I was like, I should put this on the stories. It's pretty funny. It got a huge reaction. And I was like, I think I'll make a little reel about this, put it on. Boy, oh boy, it was gangbusters. And people were just dying laughing, except for a group of folks called Zionists.
Oh.
And they're not Jews necessarily. They're people that believe that Israel should be able to expand beyond their borders with these illegal settlements.
Easy. Go light here,
I'm
buddy.
going light,
All
okay? I'll say, what I'll say is this. They literally had Zionist in their bio.
So these are the people that reached out to you after they saw our
People
little
who
video.
saw it. Everybody got a kick out of it,
Sure.
except for a few people.
You noticed a pattern of
noticed
people
a
that didn't
pattern.
like it.
Who sent me direct messages that threatened me and my family,
Sure.
or said that my son was a faggot
Oh.
and my daughter was going to be a whore,
Okay.
and all these real nasty things.
Seems
And
unnecessary.
then I would click on their thing,
Sure.
and it would literally say Zionist,
Okay.
and then it would say like whatever else.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, that's weird.
I mean, seems pretty obvious you were joking around.
I don't think certain people care.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And the same thing happened with the lemonade thing, where one of the videos I made a tip jar like they do at Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
And at Starbucks they'll be like, Friends or Seinfeld? Well, I did one of those, but I wrote Greater Israel on one and then Free Palestine on the other. Because I was like, this is funny because it's so ridiculous that children would have this as a tip jar at a lemonade.
Yeah, I can't imagine why people thought this was controversial.
Boy, oh boy, John, did I get a couple of DMs
Sure.
from the same group of people, different people,
Sure.
same group, saying all kinds of mean, violent things
Yeah.
about bringing that up.
Not a laughing matter, as a
and I
matter.
thought-
Was that the theme for most of them? This is not a laughing matter.
Yes, this is not a laughing matter.
Okay.
You shall not make fun of a genocide. And I was like, I'm not going to be like, if there's an old saying from my Second City days, by that I mean I took classes there. If you have to explain a joke, it's not funny.
Yes.
But these folks seem to need the explanation of a joke because 1.6 million people saw the joke and thought it was hilarious, but 2 people did not. And so I was like, is it worth explaining to these people? And the answer was no.
No, I think, Brandon, with great power comes great responsibility. You got a
Yeah.
big following now. You're going to put out controversial material.
Well, I always have. And then people, I think that's the thing that I don't get about the internet is like, if I don't see something I like, I keep it moving. I'm never going to I generally never comment on anything, and I would never comment or message a creator directly. especially when I haven't followed a long time, to be like, I'm disappointed in you and you're wrong. I'd be like, that's not for me. I see most of the things I see on there are not for me.
Sure.
But some people just go around and go, I'm going to reach out to this person directly and tell them that I'm not happy with the video that I just saw, even though I've never seen them before in my life, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm going to keep doing the same things I'm doing, making the same stuff for the OGs, all my old followers, and just keep documenting these kids and whatever else I find funny. John, you say that I only want people to ask about me. That's true.
We both said that's true at the same time.
So if I wasn't me,
Sure.
I'd probably say, what'd you do this weekend?
This goes against every fiber of your being.
How can it's, you know, a lot of it's ADHD because there's all these memes that are like, you know, different characters being like this, and it's like fighting the urge to not find any element in a story that somebody's telling to interrupt them and say, let me tell you about the time that I ...
Sure.
And that's, I think it's less egomania and more attention deficit disorder. But what did you do this weekend, John? You're a human. So am I.
I will talk about my weekend, but it does make me think about when we started this podcast. You said, I've known you for 20 years and I don't know anything about you.
Yeah.
And this is why. Because
yeah.
we will hang out and you just are like, let me tell you about this thing. Let me tell you about this other thing.
Well, John, I hate to Truman Show you, but this whole show was designed as an experiment for me to learn about you.
Well, we're doing a horrible fucking job then.
Yeah, I don't know anything more about you. I don't even know your last name.
Okay, so how was my weekend? Is that your question?
Well, I was going to tell
very
a story.
Forced.
You have a family, right?
I do. You've met them many times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No.
What's his name again?
We had a good weekend. We did a lot of stuff around the house too. It was a really nice weekend.
That's so great.
I went on a
For those that don't have a house, we're sorry.
Sure. I went on a long bike ride with my fancy road bike. You would have fucking hated it.
Did you have other old retired insurance salesman bicycling with you?
No.
Or it was just you?
No, I did like a 30-mile ride this weekend.
This is Whitey. He's with Citibank.
Yeah, when you see the giant groups and they all have matching outfits and stuff, it is.
I hate them.
Yeah, everybody does. I hate them, and I ride a bike.
If the purge was a thing, I'd go no.
Yeah.
But bicyclists.
I have a question.
groups.
Why do you think? Do you have a theory of mind here on why everybody hates cyclists?
It's a privilege thing, and I would say white privilege, but I've seen plenty of people of color in these groups.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I always go, what are you guys doing here? Because it seems like it's a very expensive sport.
It is.
Almost like polo, you know,
okay.
with a horse polo.
I think you're onto something here. It's a hobby of privilege.
A privilege, because everything, the bikes are at least $1,000, if not more. Then you got the helmets, all those things,
all the gear.
So it's all that which reeks of wealth, and then you have that they are impeding traffic. So it's not the normal. I hate bicyclists. Like when we used to live in Chicago, there'd be bicyclists, you know, they'd run a light or whatever. We're talking that times 30, 40. They're blocking the one freeway and everybody's slowing down to go around them or whatever. I mean, passengers have the right of way, but I think you and I perhaps have additional animosity towards them because you and I both used to work at this coffee shop in Santa Barbara 20 years ago, and the groups of those guys would always stop there, and I found them to be very rude.
There's something about the outfits, the clickety-clack of the shoes.
Yeah, because they would walk into that coffee shop that was built in an old Craftsman shotgun house.
Yeah.
And so the floors were old wooden floors at the coffee shop. So they would clomp in like horses with those things clickety-clacking by the dozen.
I mean, I wear this outfit and it looks fucking ridiculous. I hate it.
Why do you have to wear that outfit?
They won't let you ride if you don't.
Who?
No, I'm just kidding. No, there are reasons. You don't want the real reasons.
I do. Why can't you just dress normal?
Wind.
Okay. Why do you have to have numbers all over your stuff?
You don't, and I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, people get
That was
really...
the end of my question.
Yeah, that's it. All right. It was a nice weekend, but we did have quite the event on Friday.
Wait, one last bicycle thing.
Sure. What's up?
Two. How far, where did you ride from where to where? And then have you noticed riding it that cars honk at you and yell homophobic slurs or anything?
Why would it be homophobic slurs?
It just seems like the outfit.
Okay, fair enough.
That somebody of a closed mind
might think. Not you.
Not me. And I'm not saying was anybody who yelled that driving a gray Honda CRV. but just, you know what I mean? I mean, cars, when I was in Chicago, I'd ride the bike and people would be like, get on the road, faggot. They'd throw stuff and you're like, yeah, I'm just trying to bike to work.
I rode about 30 miles on Saturday, and no one yelled at me. No one's ever yelled.
30 miles.
That's not that long, but
no one
yelled at me or anything. No one's ever yelled at me or anything.
So far.
You see a lot of stuff online and videos. My algorithm is chock full of people talking shit about cyclists and whatnot.
Mine's why my algorithm is about why ivermectin is a cure for everything.
Very different algorithms.
Okay, so enough of that
chit chat
roadhouse business.
Yeah,
let's talk about the real you.
We went to on Friday the pinnacle of the weekend. We went to the school talent show. Both of my children were in the talent show.
Was this at the school or was it at another Orange County mega church? Because that's where you said the choir thing was at.
Yeah. This wasn't quite at that level. This was at a school. This was an auditorium.
Reasonable.
Yeah, no, this was not some huge multi-school event.
Yeah.
No, this was just the school at the auditorium. My 9-year-old was in it because he's in choir. And so they had a choir performance in the talent show.
So they're not voting.
No, it's not.
I was thinking Battle of the Bands.
No, that would have been fun.
No, that'd be funny if they did Battle of the Kids talent show. It's elementary school.
Elementary school.
You suck. That's great.
No, it wasn't a competition. But so yeah, my 9-year-old was in it because he's in the choir.
And then did your 7-year-old,
6-year-old,
how many alligators did he wrestle on stage?
That would be on brand for him, wouldn't it?
Did he rip a snake in half?
I mean,
with his, he chokes the alligator with it, then he rips the snake.
You think my my 6-year-old is his spirit animal is the ultimate warrior.
He's like the guy. Yeah, I see him just diving into a swamp, and he just comes up with a snapping turtle.
Sure.
And he's like, "You see this beauty? 47 years old. I can tell by its testicles."
He says when he grows up, he wants to either be a stuntman or a stand-up comedian.
Did you tell him AI's taking both those jobs?
I didn't. I can't break his heart yet.
Bad news for all of us, little boy.
He's in the Cub Scouts, and so his little Cub Scout troop decided to do a comedy sketch.
Oh, man. At the talent show. They wanted to do this thing called the Invisible Bench skit. I was not... Oh, this is a famous sketch. I love this sketch.
Do you really? Are you
no,
joking?
I don't know.
I was like, you're so full of shit. Because it's not good.
Ed Asner and Joan Rivers did it on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1957. Go ahead.
I'm going to take that back. It's not that it's not good. It's just, it's kind of one note. It's one joke. And not that...
John, I'm a comedy professional. Just lay it out for me.
I'll lay it out for you. There's a kid pretending to sit on a bench on stage.
Yeah.
And another kid walks out and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" And the kid there says, "Sitting on an invisible bench." Kid 2 says, "Can I join you?" He says, "Sure." He goes and sits down next to him on this invisible bench. There are 2 kids pretending to be on an invisible bench. Now, 3rd kid, 4th kid, 5th kid, they all keep doing this for however many kids you have till you have a series, a baker's dozen of children pretending to sit on an invisible bench.
Yeah.
Here's the punchline. Kid comes out, final kid, "What are you doing? Sitting on an invisible bench? Can I?" And then he goes, "But wait, I moved the bench over there yesterday." And then all the kids fall down.
That's hilarious. Did it play well?
I mean, people laughed. But the problem is it's one joke.
I think you're just looking at it strictly through the lens of comedy and not through the eyes of French existential theater.
Is that where?
You know,
Is that the lens I should have
it's
on
got
right now?
elements of Waiting for Godot to it. No Exit, you could say. It has some Monty Python-esque notes.
You're so full of shit. So I think if they decide to do another comedy sketch, I put that in big quotes,
Yeah.
next year, we should, you and I should team up and write a skit for them.
Whatever little skits or laugh-ins you little punks and Boy Scouts think you're doing, they might work in the Catskills, but they ain't working here at the Grover Cleveland Elementary School.
They didn't know I had a ringer over here with you
Yeah.
where we could put together, you'll add some great Israel-Palestine jokes to this
Yeah.
thing.
Have you heard of failed playwright Brandon Ogborn?
We're going to punch
He's
this
a
thing
friend
up.
of mine. He's got some jokes. He almost got on the Saturday Night Live, but they didn't like his Chinese impression that he did.
we're really going to push, what's
They didn't like it not because it was racist, but because it sounded too much like Dracula.
we're really going to push the standards and practices of this talent show to see what we can get away with.
John, I have some inside information, breaking news
Okay.
on the show, and that is
What's that?
that there is no origin to this invisible bench sketch.
Okay.
Merely, it is a cornerstone of comedy within the Cub Scout and greater summer camp worlds, including the Christian ones, such as Maranatha, where I went. I have a vague memory of the invisible bench. That's why it kind of seemed like it stuck to me. But there's no writer on record. It's just something they recycle. So I don't know if we could go in there and be like, hey, we came up with something funnier. You know what I mean?
No, I think we could. We don't need to base it on the invisible bench. I'm saying if the kids want to do a talent show next year, we're starting whole
Well, you're
cloth here.
kids, but if you're saying the Boy Scouts of America, whatever troop your kid in, the Boys People,
Sure.
what do they call them now? The People's Cubs of America because of the pedophiles? They changed the name of it.
They just call it the Scouts
The
instead of the Boy
Scouts.
Scouts. Yeah.
The Scouts, when we were kids, they were boys.
Here we go.
And they were all victims of assault. Whatever the Scouts, that's in their repertoire, repartee. That I don't think we could go to them and be like, we came up with something better. They're going to be like, we can't do anything else. This is part of the rules. We got to do this shitty sketch.
No, but this wasn't. Okay, we're getting in the weeds here a little bit.
Yeah, are we?
This talent show wasn't sponsored by the Scouts of America.
But that sketch was.
Yeah, but we don't need to do that sketch.
But you said your son's in the Scouts.
Yes, but he can do something besides a Scout-sponsored sketch.
But he would need to be outside of the Scouts to do it.
God forbid.
You're saying that you would say, I don't want you to participate in the stupid bench thing again. My son's doing his own comedy sketch, and he's doing it that my friend Brandon wrote. That's what you want to do?
I think the Scouts are allowed to do other sketches in talent shows. I don't think there's a rules and regulation. Only Scout-approved sketches.
Come to me next week. Talk to your Scout leader or your priest, whatever they call them, and come back to me. Come back to our huge listenership now, because
Yes.
I'm carrying us, John. And
my
you
God.
tell me, because I bet you if you say, I have one of the brightest minds in comedy, Amy Schumer, he's going to be like, no. I don't want her writing one of our things. I don't want anybody else. We're stuck with this.
Then we're out. We're
Okay,
out.
that's all I'm saying.
Comedy comes first, Brandon.
So, but he should be able to do some stand-up
Sure. Yeah, he
next
could.
year, right? Now
Yeah.
I could help him with that.
And there was one.
I've got some observations.
I mean, who knows if he'll want to do this again? But there was one kid who did stand up. It was a little girl, and she was so sweet, and she had written down these, kind of kid one-liner jokes.
This sucks.
Yeah.
What a little loser.
But I was thinking, we could do this. We could work with this. This would be fun next year
Dude,
if we did a talent
You
show.
know what
like
you did?
stand
If
up.
he wants to do stand-up, dude, put him in touch with me because I don't do stand-up, but I will put him in touch with people that do who are mean. And they will grind him down. He'll be working that set all around town, dude. He'll be doing it at nursing homes at noon.
He'll be roasting the crowd.
He'll be roasting it, dude. He's going to be workshopping that thing like Chris Rock hosting the Oscars.
How
by the
funny
time
would
he
that
gets to
be?
those kids.
This very quaint, like elementary school talent show. If we start working now a year at a time to really hone his craft.
Well,
for
it'd be
next year.
funny if he shows up and he's doing really blue material.
Yeah, it's second
You know,
grade.
and you're like, yeah, he's been at this a while. He comes out, he's like, y'all eat pussy. And they're like, your wife's like, Jesus. You're like, hold on, wait for he's got a closer. You're not gonna believe.
No, my wife knows you. She wouldn't be surprised at all if I told her Brandon's helping us with a stand-up sketch for the next year talent show. She would fucking divorce me immediately.
He's gonna be like, I got some impressions. He starts to put on a Fu Manchu mustache.
Oh
Your
my
wife's
God.
like, oh my God, no.
That would be amazing.
And you're like, no. He's playing a guy who's
It's
really
ironic.
inappropriate.
Yeah.
Who's doing the impression?
It's meta.
You know, it's like, yeah.
Wow, that's really funny. I mean, I am surprised you actually that Maggie hasn't done one of these yet, because the majority of this talent show, I will say, was little girls singing and or dancing.
Well, the reason is, as much of a attention seeker as my daughter is, she's too scared to do a talent show.
Really? That's
And,
shocking.
Speaking of losers, the night of the talent show this year at our school, I was doing my own talent show because that was when I had my one-man show. And I really wanted to go to the kids' talent show because some of the other parents who I really like, they have two little girls who were doing, they're like 6 and 9. We're doing a sister team magic show. And I was like, I would have paid money to see this dumb magic show where they make each other disappear. Henry wants to do rock and roll, but he didn't have time to practice it. So
rock and roll is the talent.
he wants to do rock and roll. Yeah. I was like, what do you want to play? And he goes, rock and roll. I was like, what instrument? He goes, rock and roll.
Just
I
rock and
said,
roll.
Okay. What are you going to do? And then he just did air guitar. And I was like, no, I'm not letting
Nope.
you do that.
Just air guitar. Yeah, no. I mean,
I'm not subjecting
we're
the public
using
to
the
it.
word talent very liberally in
Yeah.
elementary school for talent show. It seems more of, hey, do you want to get up in front of a group of people and have fun? You know,
I bet you in Beverly Hills it is serious though.
probably.
I bet you they're like, these agents are in the audience. I told them to come. And also the really rich parents, they probably have their kid like singing, and then they're like, ladies and gentlemen, Sabrina Carpenter, and like she comes out and joins the kid.
I bet some of these fancy private schools, the talent shows are very different.
Yeah.
This was very quaint, very small town, very
them.
cute. But
You got any ones you remember?
no, I don't. It was all like knock jokes and why did the blah blah blah, and the
Oh.
audience would go the why. You know,
Amateur, dude.
I know.
I thought she'd have some good stuff.
Yeah.
Like, my sister just got her braces off. Nobody wants to kiss her, you know?
I mean, the audience was primed. They would have laughed at anything.
My mom's an alcoholic. Long pause.
Just period, and then move on to the next
Yeah.
joke.
No.
This is why you got to help write the jokes for
Long
next year.
pause,
Yeah.
and then, can anybody give me a ride home?
That's funny.
Writes itself.
There you go.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was our talent show experience. I hope you experience this for yourself soon.
Did you ever do a talent show?
I did not do a talent show that I can remember as a child.
When did you know that you had talent, John?
I'm still working on it. High school, my bands. I was in a couple different bands in high school, mainly one or two, and
TLC.
we would we played at lunchtime
Oh, whoa.
on campus. It was
I didn't know
very
you
cool.
could do that in the cafeteria,
No, outside
in the quad.
in the quad.
Is that what
Yeah.
they call them?
I don't know what they called it. Yeah, but we played
Yeah.
outside a couple times. That was pretty fun.
The school gave you permission, or you just did it?
I don't know how
'Cause
this
it was
fucking
punk
happened.
rock.
This is one of those things when you look back at it and you go, what series of events? It wasn't as though there were a series of bands playing. It was just at lunch one day we were playing.
Yeah.
And I think back, what happened? Who put this together? I don't know. But anyway, it happened a couple times. Yeah.
And people came up to you after and were like, "Hey man, I heard you guys rock hard." And you were like, "I think I could do this for a living."
for sure. We
Yeah.
do rock hard. I think mainly it was just very awkward. And some people would just go, "Oh yeah, I saw you do that thing at lunch. That was cool."
Yeah. I
Yeah.
want to hear.
Thanks.
It was the principal. He goes, I wanted to start a band too. For the listeners, I was miming smoking.
Yeah.
I did not know that I was like funny in high school.
Yeah, did you ever do a talent show? I could see you doing it.
I didn't, but I did. What's weird is I looking back on it, because you know, I was homeschooled until high school, but when I was in high school, I did do this like kind of funny sketch sort of thing that was like they needed somebody to do an announcement of like giving instructions on the statewide testing over
Okay.
the TV morning announcements. And I happened to be dressed as like this 80s like jogger. You know, this is the late 90s, early 2000s.
You wore this for...
So I had short shorts on, and I think it was like Spirit Week, and I was a senior, and it might have been like Sports Day or whatever, and I
So
decided
you didn't wear it for this thing, but you were wearing
No.
it kind of...
And I had a fake mustache, like a handlebar mustache, and a sweatband on, and I looked like kind of a 80s porn star / jogger with these short shorts.
Okay,
And
it's
they
a
were
good
like,
look.
we need somebody to do announcements. So I said I would do it, and I did it as this wild character who was not even funny looking back on it. It's unbearable. But people thought it was the funniest thing of me playing this mentally disabled redneck. I didn't play him like, quote, retarded. I just played him as like, I'm going to read you the instructions on how to do the MEP test for the city.
Okay, I was
And
thinking...
I was just kind of doing this, what?
I thought maybe you were doing a Forrest Gump thing, because like a runner,
Oh.
kind of
Oh,
mentally
I
challenged.
see. Yeah.
You know,
I guess maybe I put too many eggs in that basket. That's not the right metaphor, but I could see why you thought that.
yeah.
But everybody thought that was so funny. But at the same time, similar to now, I think in my life, I was doing serious work, and I was doing half funny and half serious.
Sure.
And the serious stuff I was doing was a little art form called poetry. John, have you ever heard of it?
I didn't know you did poetry, Brandon.
Yeah, I'll do it right now. The bird. The cold bird. The night bird. It was just
great.
a little taste.
Yeah.
I wrote this poem. Is it poem or poem? And it made it in the school literary magazine. Listeners of the show will be aware that I was also the publisher from last week's episode where I almost had sex with one of the teachers.
For all of you keeping notes,
in my mind.
everybody has Brandon's entire life story pictured in their heads now.
Lord knows I do, John.
Yeah.
I don't have yours because I don't listen.
Nope.
But I published Escape magazine with Tony Acasio and Ross Morgan, as you well know. And I also happen to have a poem in it. And the poem was about something called school shootings. Have you heard of those?
I have. So you were
They were new at the time.
you were the editor in chief of this magazine,
Well, we didn't have titles, but yes.
and you published one of your own poems.
Well, I think the poem, actually, I think maybe the poem came out the year before when I was a junior.
So before you were in charge of the magazine.
Yeah, because, well, I was fucking the editor, so it was a conflict.
This was a bit of a vanity project,
no,
it
I don't
sounds
know.
like.
I think it might have been the senior. I don't know. But it definitely, any way you cut it, was a conflict of interest. But my
Definitely.
poem was about shooting guns in public schools, John.
Was there a specific school shooting that inspired this?
All of them?
Okay. I don't know if
As
there was
Miss
one
America would say.
I don't know if there was one that really hit home with you.
Well, I remember there's this kid in the school who looked like, if I was a precog, he looked like a real school shooter to be.
Okay.
So, and he used to have all these stains of on his clothes. So I wrote this poem about his baggy black pants. And everybody made fun of him because he had these big baggy jinkos on. And at the time, that was untoward, and he got bullied. So I wrote this poem that was kind of like,
I mean, you're going to recite it right now, aren't you?
well, funny you should say.
You have to.
No, I don't. I can
Brandon,
go get it though.
What a fucking tease. You
What?
have to recite this poem.
I don't know where it is.
You don't have it memorized?
No,
It's
I probably
not,
have.
You
the
should have
book
it on the
somewhere.
wall behind us
I
here.
probably have the book somewhere, but I don't know where.
God damn it. What a tease.
Next week I'll recite it.
Please, this is how we're cracking
Okay,
the algorithm
but here's
again.
the thing.
God,
This is how we're gonna fucking
Son of
I'm
a-
gonna lose my place in the algorithm with this. But the punchline, John, was so I write this poem that's all about this kid who's
Poem.
bullied. Right, sorry, my fault. Poem. This kid who's really bullied at school. And then he comes back and he gets a you know what out of his locker and starts unaliving some kids.
yeah.
But it's all about how they shouldn't have made fun of the Dorito stains on his pants. Because judge not lest you be judged. Okay? School shooters are people too. Despite what the right wingers think. Okay?
Boy, you're really sending us down a rabbit hole here. You want to get into school shootings? I'm not prepared for this.
I can't help it that I wrote a hit poem. Okay? And we know that is fact because shortly after publication,
Oh no. What was the
actually,
feedback?
you know what?
How
It
was this poem received?
This is like, John, this is the indicator, and fucking buckle up. Because almost a full year later, I was away at college, and by that I mean 40 minutes from my house at another shitty city college. And I drove back because I needed to get a sweater at the Gap. Have you ever heard of the Gap?
I remember
it's a
the
clothing
Gap.
store.
Sure.
Anyways, there's this cute little popsicle of a gal that worked there, and she was ringing me up, and she said, "Wait, are you Bubba?" And I said, yeah. I sounded like Keanu Reeves.
You did.
Yeah. Oh, what? And she goes, "The poet?" Dude, you think I'm fucking joking,
Oh my
John?
God.
You think I'm joking?
Bubba the poet?
In my small town, I was not. I go, yeah. And she goes, "I remember the poem you wrote. I read it in my college class." I was like, "Oh, yeah."
We
It
did
was-
an analysis of it.
It was pretty heavy.
You didn't say that.
I said something stupid like that.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, just the pleated khakis, please."
Are you? I mean, I think we found the title for this episode. Are you Bubba the poet?
Or am I Bubba the Hotep? Or am I Bubba the comedian?
No one's ever said Bubba the poet before.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bubba the poet. And I Bubba the street poet.
I mean, were you at the time? You
I
must
said-
have been so flattered.
I said, "I moved to Chicago. I'm Bubba the busker now." Dude, I was so flattered I almost blacked out.
yeah.
And then I was like, "Oh, can I get your number?" And she goes, "I have a boyfriend."
But you were off at your city college, and
Actually, her friend did. Her friend goes, "She has a boyfriend."
I bet you went back to your city college and your city college friends,
Mm-hmm.
and you were like, I can't even go back home anymore, man. Fucking, I walked into the Gap, there's girls all over me.
Yeah. They're
You know
all
how it
like,
is,
"Are
guys."
you a poet? You
Yeah.
know how it is.
Famous,
Yeah.
going small town kid does good, right?
Yeah, it's that feeling of just beauty passing through your body, much like you must feel when you're riding your bicycle in that skin tight outfit.
That's called a callback.
and I also
Wow.
drove away from there, and somebody said, "Gay!" when I left the Gap.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. So you fucking better respect me, John, because I'm Bubba the poet now.
All right, audience. I don't know how we're
And
going to
if
pull
you're
this
that
off.
girl that said that, and you're now listening to the show, and you're going, "Boy, I let that one slip through my fingers,"
That's not happening.
you consider yourself lucky.
She forgot about that immediately afterwards. I don't know how we're going to pay this off, audience, but we need to hear this poem.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be on the Instagram.
Right to the publishers of Escape Magazine.
I don't know if
Me.
Brandon will bring it back for next week. Maybe you come back next week and we'll start off the show.
We will bring it
Let's
back.
start off the show
Let's start it off.
with a poem next week.
And your band playing.
In the
choir.
background, it'll be like spoken word
Yeah.
with Henry Rollins or something.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I don't think we're going to top that. I think we got to take a break.
What a great show. All right. Thanks so much, Oh, it's not the end.
No, we have lots
Oh.
of other business to
Yeah.
attend to, but
All
I
right.
think we can take a break.
We'll leave you at that.
All right.
People are going to need a break after this. Oof.
Really
I gotta
sit and
get a
think.
box of tissue.
Think about school shootings, guys.
Yeah. All, not just some, all.
We're back
So-
with Gotta Goes.
We're back with Gotta Goes. The first thing is school shootings.
Gotta go.
They gotta go.
You want to go first? You want to go second for Gotta Goes?
I'll go first,
Go
which
for it.
was one of the other fun things we did this weekend was have a little dance party in the kitchen. And I'll tell you what, if you got little kids, man, they're so hard to get to sit down on their butts and eat. They just want to get crazy. And you're like, sit down, eat. And it's nearly impossible. I don't know how it is for you. They won't just sit and eat unless if maybe you put on a show for them, in which case they're usually just drooling watching the show. And you got to be like, if you're watching the show, you got to eat. But we put on some doo-wop music at the dinner table.
Okay.
And we had ourselves a little dance party while we were eating. And I'll tell you what, these kids love the doo-wop.
So why does this have to go?
Oh, wait, you're right. John, I'm embarrassed. I did this as recommendations. You know what I hate? This
Doo-wop groups.
music. All these doo-wop. They're coming. They're listening to that doo-wop and wop and stuff.
Yeah.
It's destroying our
Get the
schools.
fuck out of here.
It's destroying our families. It's breaking the moral fabric of this society.
Okay.
First, it's doo-wop. Then they're letting everybody vote.
Sure.
And then what? You marry your dog? You know? Doo-wop that thing, Lauren Hill. No thanks. What's yours, John?
That's okay. Brandon's controversial gotta go. Get rid of doo-wop groups.
That's called Guys, You Better Watch Out. Some girls, they only know about that thing. John, you go ahead.
All right, I'll do my gotta go. My gotta go is, you'll see this, Brandon, as your children get older, around 3rd or 4th grade. These schools, at least in the school districts around here, the kids get a Chromebook,
No.
aka a laptop.
Malarkey, as Joe
And-
Biden would say.
And it was a surprise to us when our kid hit 3rd grade and they said,
Chromebook. More like Chromebook. No,
this
thanks.
story's going to take forever.
Dude. You think I want Palantir watching my kids? Dude,
So,
fuck that.
so we had to get him this Chromebook, right? So he has a laptop now, and they do a lot of work on it. Obviously, they make you get it for a reason. And I fucking hate it. These kids
Why?
have their whole lives to be on screens like the rest of us.
Yeah.
And now they're stuck using these laptops at home. They come home, they got to do their homework. Oh, they're on the laptop. Oh, it's 7 p.m. I forgot to do my homework. Now all of a sudden they're looking at a screen right before bedtime. Fucks
No.
up their brains, right?
Homeschool them.
And it's just, there's a lot in the news, and at least in my algorithms, around a big backlash around technology in schools with children.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with it. I
Yeah.
think we do not need this technology. I feel like it's been foisted upon us in school, like these Chromebooks, these iPads, things like that. We do not need it. These are not kids doing, essays in college, right? Which probably should be using blue books and whatnot anyway to keep people from using AI to write all this shit for them.
What's a blue book?
If you had gone to university instead of Michigan Community College,
Yeah.
you would have seen there's something called Blue Books.
I only know about the blue book where you list your car in. Kelly's blue book.
Kelly Blue Book,
Yeah, that's
different Blue
what
Book.
Project Blue Book? The UFO?
These are, it's a little notebook. They're called blue books because they're all blue, and it's just basically lined paper. And many times in college courses, you would have to write an essay in this book. You can't use a
It's
computer.
longhand,
Longhand.
you're saying?
You got to write
With
it, and you turn
human
it,
hands.
and you turn in the book each time. So they give them the whole
Oh,
thing.
wow, that's
right. So
cool.
it's just filled with 10 blank pages.
Yeah.
You write your essay, whatever. You'll take a lot of tests this way and turn that thing
Yeah.
in.
Well,
a lot
they're
of
saying
colleges
that
are going
now
back
people,
to these
people
now.
don't even know how to handwrite now because
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
colleges are going back.
Colleges
to
are going back to them because otherwise kids are using
They're all
AI.
cheating, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, so colleges are learning
That's
these things
cool.
first now, but I really hope the elementary schools start to get on board with this because I fucking hate these laptops. I hope
Yeah.
by the time our 6-year-old gets into 3rd grade, they've learned and they've gone away from these things.
No, dude, they're gonna have the chip in his brain by then.
They'll be Neuralinking them up.
They'll
So
be Neuralinking him, dude.
gotta go. Chromebooks, iPads in elementary school. I hate them. I want them to get the hell out of here.
Now, I doubt you push things this far because you are part of the sheeple. But
Thank you.
What happens if you don't get the Chromebook? Because I'm sure there had to have been parents who were like, we're not doing this. We disagree with this. They're not going to not let them go to school.
You know what? That is a good question. I'm sure there must be some sort of opt-out
Yeah.
situation.
Because that's what I would
We
do.
didn't explore it at the time just because, this was, he's in 4th grade now, so this was 2 years ago now. We just kind of go, oh, okay, I guess we have to do this thing. We
Yeah,
didn't push
just
to
like
go.
the COVID people.
Now
huh?
There it is. Now
There
we've
it
learned,
is.
though. Now we've learned.
Yeah.
COVID was a hoax.
It's too late now, dude. He's
don't need
already
a
got his
Chromebook.
brain in there, man.
I know.
The NSA's already tapping.
But I am
him,
going to
dude.
opt out with our 6-year-old if we at all can. I don't know what you do if you opt out because so much of it revolves around these books, these laptops. I fucking hate it.
I mean, they would just have to go check things at the library or something.
I
you
guess.
know?
I don't know if they maybe give you a loaner when you're in class because they have to cart them back and forth to school with them.
Yeah. I mean, I feel weird even with my daughter going to school and she's in 1st grade and being very leery of different things. Even I noticed where the teacher would be like, oh, we watch these different things. You guys can watch them at home, these study course, whatever. And I
Yeah.
go, no,
I'm good.
wait, I don't need to add more screen time than they already have.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's educational. I go, I don't care. I want them to watch YouTube slop, But no, I don't. I feel like just weird about them having anything with internet access,
Mm-hmm.
regardless, with a camera, on a laptop. No, thanks.
They put they say at least they put a lot of safeguards. There's a lot of lockdowns on these things. I don't buy it.
Yeah, sure. A lot of safety. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg.
Because kids
No,
never
thanks.
figure out workarounds for technology, right?
Yeah, they
that
don't.
always works.
And people and the billionaire tech CEOs definitely have our best interests, don't they, Jeffrey Epstein? You know what I'm saying?
We both just looked at the camera.
We just did.
very
and also,
knowingly.
I'm joking because I do not support Jeffrey Epstein.
Taking a stand here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to take a stand too while we...
Same.
Okay. Yeah, man.
All right. Do you have a real gotta go, or are you just sticking with doo-wop groups?
The other thing is this jazz crap. You can't even call it music. It's just noise. Man, that was a real fucking bust, wasn't it?
It's really funny. We're keeping it. We're fucking keeping it.
The other thing is school related, which is the school counselor put on this little workshop today for people who have kids who might have anxiety problems. So I went to it, and so did my wife. And you know who else went?
Who?
Nobody. We were the only ones there in the library. Everybody else went to it over Zoom. So she was talking to the Zoom and then looking to us in the library to be polite, like, also you guys. But the thing that's got to go is we definitely think that my daughter has some anxiety problems that we need to figure out how to manage.
Okay.
Everything on the checklist that the lady was going through, I was like, yep. And then we were like normal parents. We go, you're so helpful. This is so great. How do we arrange our daughter to see you at school? Do we like book an appointment? Do you just whatever? And she goes, well, I'm booked for the year. And we go, oh, wow. She goes, but I can put her on a wait list. And we go, well, what about next year? She goes, well, this is my last year.
Oh,
because they're cutting this position.
great.
And I go, what? Are they going to have another school counselor there for children who have disorders, which every other kid does have some kind of problem? And she goes, nope, the district funding, blah, blah, blah. And we're sitting in the library. I go, where's the librarian? And my wife goes, they cut the librarian last year. There's no fucking librarian in the school.
They're just cutting your fun and
They're
left and
getting
right.
rid- Yeah. Well, they got to pay for this war somehow, John.
You're going to show up tomorrow. It's going to be boarded up.
Dude, I'm like, what's next? The school nurse? They're like, we just got to call the paddy wagon if your kid scrapes their knee.
You got to find a new... Your
I don't know
school's
how
got to
these
go. You
schools
got to find
function.
a new school,
Well,
man.
it's this district that's got to go, I guess. But I guess the Long Beach Unified School District had 100,000 students at one point 20 years ago, and now it's down to like 65. And so it has to do with like the enrollment numbers and how much they can earn, property values, whatever. I don't know. They got to figure it out. My wife's going to be PTA president. Hopefully she can look into it.
Hopefully they don't cut
But
her
in the
funding,
meantime,
huh?
I'm encouraging you guys to have families. Okay, start having families, as John would say, have white Christian families,
I didn't ever.
which I think is really offensive.
I never
He's
said that
a
on this
white
podcast.
Christian nationalist, but I say have whatever family you want to have, but we need to get these numbers up for the war effort. Because pretty soon, they're all going to be on these Chromebooks. Melania Trump's going to have her AI robots
Yep.
to come teach the children in the future. Did you watch this thing?
that
It
your-
was fucking insane.
Is that your Chinese accent again?
This is Melania, the Chinese vampire. We in the future, the children will all learn from the robots.
I did not see it. I've
The
heard about it.
Chromebooks will teach our children, so we no longer have to have librarians, and we can all robot watch them for Elon Musk in the Epstein class. You use your bit token from Palantir if your son dies in the war for another country.
Dude,
we
all
know
this
which
shit-
one.
All this shit's so disturbing. This reminds me of. Remember? Did you hear what Sam Altman said? What was it? Just a few weeks ago. He was
No.
talking about like how much food and resources it takes to raise a person versus.
Oh yeah.
Like, an AI, you don't need all that to
Yeah.
train an AI, but to train a person, you need all this
You
food
need
and
too
housing
much.
and
yeah.
You're just like, oh my god, this is where we're at.
I don't want to call for violence, but when I do hear about the Molotov cocktail situation, I do go, yeah, we should do that now. You know what I mean?
Wait, no, what?
Somebody threw I'm whispering.
No, I know.
Somebody threw a Molotov.
Are you
cocktail.
condoning this?
I'm not condoning it,
No, we do not condone violence.
but I go, well,
Here, no, definitely not. I think it's a symptom. Crazy people always gonna be attacking
haters
famous
gonna
people,
hate.
right? Crazy people are always attacking famous people, but I do think directionally, a lot of times, it expresses the sentiment of the saner society at large, right?
What?
Crazy people will sometimes attack. This reminds me almost of like remember the healthcare CEO, like the United Health CEO,
Oh, I think about it every day. Yeah.
where
Luigi Mangione.
the people who actually do that violence, these are people with problems, and they are going to direct it somewhere, right? These are not just normal, sane people that are like, you know what, enough's enough. I have to throw a Molotov cocktail at Sam Altman's house.
What? Well, then what's sane?
I think
To vote against the policies that allow billionaire tech CEOs to steal everything from everybody.
Yeah, I don't think it's sane to because I don't think it's constructive to act in violence against these people. These people are not breaking the law. You can't just go, I disagree with you, so I'm going to throw a Molotov cocktail at your house.
I don't know, John. I feel like I don't think you totally go against condoning violence.
You don't think I do?
I remember that one time you were like, I don't condone violence. But when that guy shot John Lennon, I thought, get them all. And I was like, what? You're like, I wish you would have killed all the Beatles.
This is a fever dream you had. I would never.
And I was like, John
Get out.
Ahern wished for the death of all
This
the Beatles.
Gotta go section has really evolved into something different than the original intention. I think we got to
Here's
move on
the
here.
thing about doo-wop.
We got to move on. Let's move on to recommendations here. I think we're wrapping up gotta goes.
Or as I call recommendations, negative gotta goes.
All right, we'll be back. We are back with recommendations. Yeah, so Brandon, recommendations, doo-wop groups?
Doo-wop that thing. I was actually going to recommend this lymphatic brush I've been using.
Ooh, okay.
It's very nice. I'll do the recommendation I had before,
Okay.
which I'll do briefer since we're running out of batteries.
Yeah, sure. You want to go? You want to go first? You want me to go
So,
first?
we're doing this in a bomb shelter. You go first, John.
Okay, I'll go first. Brandon, have you heard of a little movie called Goonies?
No, is that about masturbating?
It's-
Goonin?
It's not. It's
Oh.
a comedic movie from the 80s. We watched this with the kids recently, and they fucking loved it. I will say 6 is probably right about at the limit for how old your kids need to
Oh,
be.
okay.
6, 7 years old. That our youngest is just about to turn 7, and it's right on the border. There's some language in it.
Oh yeah, there is. I saw it a few years back.
There's some kissing in it.
What?
There's no nudity.
Oh,
But man, does it hold up! So much fun to watch it with the kids. They really enjoyed it. If you're
I
looking
mean,
for
it's got things that boys like: bikes, treasure,
fun inventions,
physically disabled people.
and as we mentioned earlier, Short Round. He's in this.
Oh my God,
the actor
he
who plays
is.
Short Round, right?
Yeah, the Eastern European actor. Short Round.
Don't do his accent.
I want to suck. Show me the map of the treasure.
He's so
I'm
fun in
Short Round.
The actress, I don't know her name, who
The one who plays the mom.
the one who plays the mom
I
of
gotta
the
look
bad
this up.
guys.
I'm gonna do a live fact check.
She was also in Throw Mama from the Train. She
Oh,
does
yeah.
such a good job. She's so funny in it. She plays such a great villain. And I don't know her name. Brandon's going to look it
Anne
up.
Ramsey
Anne Ramsey.
died in 1988.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
From
Was this one of her last performances then?
it might have thought.
Because I think that feels pretty... I would have guessed Goonies 86 maybe?
Goonies was. Oh, she was in Going South too.
Oh, yeah.
Goonies was 85.
85, okay.
And
so
Throw Mama from the Train was 1987. So that was a year before she died.
So yeah, highly recommend Goonies. Super fun. It's one of those movies that is really enjoyable. It's something fun from my youth that I remember quite well. So to be able to show it to our kids now when they're getting to that age. E.T. was one of those as well. Back to the Future. These are these fun movies from the 80s that I really loved. To be able to show those to our kids now that they're getting to those ages.
By the way, I just looked up the reason she sounded that way with the slur was that she had part of her jaw and tongue removed from esophageal cancer.
Boy, thanks for really throwing a stink
I
on
just want you to think when you laugh at her.
my very heartfelt recommendation of these fun
Just
movies.
when you think about it, God.
You will do her voice. So that's half my recommendation. The other half of my recommendation is projectors. Get yourself an economically priced projector.
But they're so expensive, John.
Brandon, one might think so. They're not.
Oh.
No. They used to be. You can get these smart projectors now. They got the Netflix on them. They got all the stuff. Show movies in your backyard. The kids fucking love it.
Summer's around the corner, guys.
It turns it into a party, man. Kids really have fun with it.
I'll tell you what, I've seen some of these summer movie things going on around the neighborhoods, and it really gives the kids something to do on the weekends.
We should invite you guys over to do a backyard movie night with the kids.
You should invite us over, generally.
I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Let me ask Catherine. But yeah, get yourself a projector. You might think, oh, well, we'll use it once or twice. No, you will use it far more than you think you will.
Well, I've only used it once or twice up until now because I was watching Showgirls on the side of my house and the neighbors started to get played.
Maybe the content you're choosing might be
They
the
said,
problem.
stop showing Showgirls. I said, it's far superior to Striptease, starring Demi Moore, 1997.
When's the last time you saw Showgirls?
I've never seen it, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
Should we do that for a movie night?
It is a batshit crazy movie.
I heard it won a lot of Razzies when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's a weird
I remember
movie.
learning the term Razzie Awards because of that movie.
You should watch it.
Okay,
what's your recommendation?
My recommendation is to get some good friends.
Okay.
Good friends who know your life. My wife's about to turn 40. She doesn't look a day over 37.
I agree.
We have some friends, Missy and Julianne, who I speak about often. Gold Star lesbians. Their son, Bo, looks like Burt Reynolds.
Famously, Bo, who has lives in the house with clocks all over it, right?
Yep, and does karate and hockey and boxing and football and gymnastics. And he's still not tired. That Bo, and now he's playing trumpet. And he's got a mullet now, which just makes a certain kind of sense. Years and years ago, my wife was in a horrible bicycle accident, broke her hip and pelvis in San Francisco. Thanks, liberals. She was riding her bike down a hill and it got caught in the train track. And
Is that what
her
happened?
bike? Yep.
I didn't
and
know.
She flew God knows how far.
I thought she got hit by a car.
Dude, no. She flew off her bike, went about 100 feet or something like that. Was laying in the street screaming, help, help. And guess what happened? Some guy walks up, some businessman from San Fran, and he leans over. He goes, do you need help? So she ended up in the hospital. And she had this surgery, this life-changing surgery that had never been done before. Every year she writes a card to the guy who did it. He was a homeless man. No, to the doctor that did it.
Some experimental medicine.
And because it was like on the news, there was like a news TV thing where she was like in the remote piece explaining how she could walk again. And anyways, she woke up from the surgery and it was Easter, and there's a picture of her looking totally drugged out, zonked, smiling with a horrifying 6-foot Easter bunny standing over her, smiling at the camera.
I've seen this picture. It is disturbing.
I talk about it in my one-man show. And for her early birthday, Missy and Julie the other night surprised her at their house, and I made dinner for everybody. And Jenna turned around and Missy was in the Easter bunny suit and said, "Remember me?"
Oh my God.
Huge laugh. And what was beautiful about it was that it took something that was so tragic for my wife. And granted, she can have a sense of humor about it, but to create this whole event around it and surprise her and take the power back from that really dark chapter at a time where it's like she's hitting middle age and we have these wonderful kids and this great life and these beautiful, thoughtful friends. There's just something magical about it. She was just glowing the whole night and shedding tears of joy of just like how much that meant to her.
So thoughtful.
And it was so thoughtful, and I got choked up. I'll probably make a reel about it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But it made me think of you, John, because you give the most thoughtful gifts too.
Oh, thank you.
And thanks for calling me a friend. I've never called you a friend before, but I do appreciate you as a colleague. And you give such thoughtful gifts. I remember saying something in passing about going number 2, and you're like, huh. And then that Christmas, you got me a squatty potty, and I've been using that thing day and night for 5 years, 6, almost 10 years now. I think you got it back when I was in the old apartment. I put that thing in the dishwasher alone. I don't put dishes in it, but I will clean that thing and sanitize it repeatedly because I use it all the time. And you hear me when I maybe you get me something I don't even know that I needed.
Well,
so
you give me a lot of.
that.
You're welcome. You give me a lot of credit there. I like how you say, "Oh, I just mentioned something in passing." Anybody who knows you or anybody who listens to this podcast knows that you like
Love
to
complain.
You like to talk about pooping.
And I like to complain.
It's a big part of your life.
Yeah.
Pooping.
It's most of my time, really.
And also, speaking of friends, you will have to deal with some pooping situations when we go camping with the Soldanos.
Believe me, John, I'm already doing deep research on portable bidets.
Talk about good friends. These
Yeah.
are friends that we have met late in life.
Yeah.
You know, we're in our 70s now.
Yeah.
And
so we're at Leisure World.
And no, but we made these friends as adults. They're neighbors of ours. And just, like your friends.
When you say we, you mean your wife and you.
My wife and I. But, you met the lesbians.
The lesbians.
As adults, these are not childhood friends. It is harder, in all seriousness. It is harder to make friends as an adult.
Yeah.
But it's totally possible, but you do have to make a conscious effort to do it.
Yeah.
And we've made some great friends.
Well, and you kind of got to date them a little bit. You start with like, let's meet in a neutral area like a park and have our kids play. And then it's like, hey, that went pretty well. I should have my spouse meet you, and your spouse should meet my spouse or me, and then
It's
you
like
do
meeting the parents,
let's do
right?
a lunch.
Let
and
me
then
introduce you to my
yeah.
spouse.
Then you go on to like, we have fun with the kids playing. It'd be fun without the kids. What if we go to happy hour together?
Sure.
And then it's like, you want to go to double date to the movies? You want to do, and then it goes beyond just like, I guess we should invite them to our kid's birthday party.
They're not just parents of your kids' friends anymore. They're
Yeah.
your friends.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And there's some ride or dies, man. They're ride or dies. I felt that way because we hung out with the Soldano family without you guys this
You did.
last weekend
You
with
did.
their kids. And even our kids the next day were like, man, that was so much fun. Those people are great. Their kids are great. I was like, yeah, let's steal them from John and Catherine.
I mean,
They're
no
gonna be
stealing
ours
needed.
now.
You can borrow them whenever you need to.
They're great. Yeah.
All right.
So that's my recommendation. If you don't have funny friends, and I don't mean people who do comedy, but people who have a good sense of humor, find those people, if they're in your life on the periphery, bring them in because you're going to need them. I mean, I met Missy and Julianne and started to get close with them like right before my dad died.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a huge, probably the toughest thing I went through in my life. And they really helped bring me along. And you're hitting that middle age now, more than likely. You're getting there. And that's when things get pretty tough. People start to die. People get divorced. Maybe you will. You'll definitely die at some point. But bring the people in who can laugh with you.
Yes, having friends that have good senses of humor at this stage in life where real shit happens is priceless, man. It's so helpful to have friends that have good self-deprecating sense of humor, can laugh at themselves, can laugh at trauma, don't take things too seriously, right?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you saw the clock video, like we were cracking up about it. And I know people who, if that would have happened, they would have been like, we don't want you over our house anymore. Truly.
Yeah, totally. It happens for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Good
recommendation.
Yeah. And what do we got, John? What do we got as far as the shout outs?
Oh, we got to shout out some folks. Who we shouting out?
Let's see what we got. Barack Obama.
And Ann Ramsey. Was that her name?
Ann Ramsey.
Yeah.
We got what's his name? Corn Pop. We got
Corn Pop.
We got
such a good name.
We
Cracker
got
Jack.
Mark Zuckerbuck. We got Sam Altman-Faltman. Lurie Ellison. As always.
How about the patrons to your kids' lemonade stand?
We got MAGA Mom. We got the Gooners. Those boys. We got the Child Killer. 2 doors down. Who else?
How about all the folks in the kids' talent show?
Oh, yeah. Shout out to those kids.
Yeah.
The little ones.
And their parents that suffered through.
Listen, They're Fine is produced and edited by Wyatt Gray. Original music by John Ahern. John's Instagram is @JohnAhernMusic.
You can find Bubba's Inappropriate Parenting on Instagram @BubbaOgborn. I feel like we did a lot of plugging of your Instagram tonight.
Too much, you'd say.
You can find our recommendations linked in the show notes.
If you had feedback or topic suggestions, our show email is listenthey'refine@gmail.com. And you can find our Instagram @listenthey'refine.
If you made it this far without calling Child Protective Services, please leave us a 5-star review. Helps other questionable parents find us.
Share the chaos. Tell a friend. Tell your therapist. Tell anyone who needs to feel better about their own parenting choices.
Hit subscribe so you never miss an episode.